Hey guys, it's Nao here. Welcome to your TarotScope for June 16th, 2019. Aries, your card of the week is going to be the Reverse Magician. So this card is suggestive that you are spending way too much time fantasizing about what your reality could be rather than actually bringing it into being. Fantasies are fun and they're good and they have their place, but if you're spending so much time being upset about the fact that your dreams are not becoming true, you're not really doing anything to actually make this happen. You're not really doing anything to create the reality field that you want. You're just whining about what's not happening. And that's not really a good place for you to be. So I would suggest that you spend a little bit more time this week focusing on what you can control, what you are actually able to make reality. So recognize the distinguishment between the dream and the reality and what is actually possible. Don't get hung up on the impossible this week. Taurus, your card of the week is going to be the reversed King of Wands. So this has a lot to do with self-image and how you're presenting yourself. There's a part of your personality that has been viewed as being too overbearing, too stolid, too firm in itself, and that probably needs to be let go a little bit. You need to ease up on that and take some time to examine why you come across that way. Because this card has a lot more to do, wands have to do with our public persona, with the way that we present ourselves to other people. So it's good to figure out, why do you come across that way? Why do you come across as being this extra person? If you can figure out why you're coming off that way, you can be proactive in clearing that up. You can actually clarify to people, well, I know I come across this way, but this is what my intent actually is. This is what I'm actually trying to communicate to you right now. So that'll make it a little bit easier for you to kind of navigate when you run into those personality clashes with others. Gemini, your card of the week is the reverse Seven of Cups. So this card is about being stretched too thin emotionally. You're trying to scatter yourself a little bit too far. You're trying to look at too many new things, too many new possibilities, and you're all over the place. You're sloppy as hell this week. You might want to tighten things up a bit. You're trying to get some new ideas, some new data, some new information about your emotional horizons, but it's going to just really not be as productive as you want it to be. So I would rather let things ride this week rather than trying to put yourself into a firm direction. Kind of be a little bit more receptive, a little bit more open, and proceed with a lack of attachment onto what those new outcomes might be. If you attach any desire or specific need that needs to be satisfied, I think you're going to end up being disappointed. So just relax and kind of let the wishy-washy weirdness wishy-washy itself on out. Cancer, your card of the week is the World. The world is your oyster this week. There's lots of new scenarios, new avenues that are presenting themselves to you this week, and you can really take the time to figure out which one's going to be good for you. But the good news about this is that most of them actually will be positive outcomes. Appreciate the glory and the wonder of all the things that surround you and all of the potential that exists because you've earned it. Enjoy it. Leo, your card of the week is the Artist, which is what Cancer had last week. So this card is a non-traditional major arcana card. It's specific to this deck. And what the Artist is trying to tell you is that you need to express your humanity through creative endeavors and expressive ways. So this is a good time to get into your art, Leo, into your creative expressions, whichever avenue for you that may be. You may be a writer, you may be a dancer, you may be a sculpture-y person-y, making stuff out of clay, you know what I mean. Feeling for you that it's going to be more about self-release, the catharsis that comes from expressing yourself for your own sake, to release that emotional tension. So let it out, Leo, whichever way makes you roar the best. Virgo, your card of the week is the Four of Wands. And last week, you were the Knight of Wands. So I see this as you really focused in on what you wanted to do about yourself and your persona, and now you've landed in a place where you're at a solid new understanding of yourself. And that's a really good place to be. So enjoy this solidity, enjoy the experience of being solid. Be prepared for a little bit of a shift, probably coming down the pipeline towards you soon. But right now, this is a place of solidity, of connectedness, and feeling grounded in yourself. So enjoy that this week. Libra, your card of the week is the 8 of Pentacles. Last week, you were the 5 of Wands. So you had to kind of fight for who you are last week. And now this is about showing off how good you are at what you do. So this is about working with your hands, working with the material realm. So there's a particular way in which you have a specific talent or knack for working with your hands, working with the material realm, and you need to get into that this week, whichever medium works best for you, whether that's you're going to be cooking a dank meal, or you're going to actually be making jewelry, or your artsy craftsy things, but you're going to be working on making something manifest. You're going to be showing off how good you are at it. And it's good for you to do that, to show yourself that you have an area that you are competent in. And it's good to feel that competence and then to share that with others, so that way you know that they know that you know that you are a competent human being. You got mad skills. Look at that guy. He got mad skills. He's whacking the shit out of that pentacle. Scorpio, your card of the week is the 3 of Swords. I know, this is one of those cards in the deck that's kind of like the Tower that everyone gets all nervous and scared about. But the thing about the swords is that they only hurt if you resist them. So last week, Scorpio, you had the 8 of Wands, so things were kind of coming at you really fast. Life felt a little bit out of control, and now maybe it got you in a little too deep. So this is a card where you have to think about the grief that you're carrying with you, reflect on why you feel injured in your heart. But the interesting thing about this is that this card is very much connects to the emotional realm, because we've got the heart here, which is actually the Suit of Cups, right? So to me, this is a crossover in which your thoughts, your swords, are piercing into your emotions and causing you pain. So you need to figure out what part of your headspace is connecting to your emotions in a way that's causing you grief and suffering. And you need to be aware of that and aware of how you are doing that on your own self, on your own body. You're being your own worst enemy right now, and you should probably correct that, because you can fix that. It's you on you. You control you. Do something about that. Sagittarius, your card of the week is the 4 of Pentacles. And interestingly, last week you were the 2 of Pentacles. So you've moved on. You've come up with a plan, a little bit about what you're going to do in terms of your home and your financial situations. But now it's time to secure the bag, right? This is time to be conservative. You've decided that, you need to kind of tighten things up a little bit. You need to be a little bit more mindful about where your resources are flowing. So go ahead and do that. Cancel your Netflix subscription for a little while, or whatever indulgence you're indulging upon. It's not like it's hard for you to find something to indulge upon if it makes you feel good and smart and shit. So eliminate that just for a little while, and that way you'll get to where you want to be in terms of your material realm. Capricorn, your card of the week is the reverse King of Pentacles. So this guy can come off as a little bit greedy. Actually, I feel like this is really, this is a Capricorn card, right? So this is kind of an at-home place for you. However, this reversal means blockages, that this is not showing off the benefic parts of Capricorn firmness and groundedness and being sensible. This is the opposite of that. This is being miserly. This is being snide towards other people unnecessarily, and being stiff and rigid with your resources, when actually you should probably let them flow. Because when we let money and when we let resource flow back and forth and get an exchange going, that's actually when it works the best. That's when it is in its co-creative benefic form. But if you're blocking that off and you're holding back unnecessarily, it's going to make the universe itself respond in kind, saying, if you're not going to participate in the flow, you're not going to get any from us either. So recognize that maybe there are ways that you need to actually engage and participate on the material level with other people, and let that exchange flow. Don't Don't be too miserly. But that's not to say that you should just be giving freely and nonsensically. Use that good sense that you have. Use that practicality that you've got going for you. So that way you are not being taken advantage of, but you are participating in a way that allows the universe to give back to you because you are giving out first. Aquarius, your card of the week is the Page of Swords. So last week you were the Queen, and now you've bumped down here. So maybe you thought and spoke with a little bit too much conviction, and somebody may have called your bluff. So now you've got to come back down to the page level and realize that there is a risk that needs to be taken here because maybe you weren't quite as accurate as you could have been, and that can be sometimes uncomfortable. We don't like to look like we don't know what we're talking about. So this would be a time to re-examine, get back to the basics, and figure out where you went wrong and where you need to fill in the gaps in your knowledge. So that way when it comes time again, when you're called upon to speak and to share what you know, you can do it with a little bit more competence and a little bit more evidence and facts to support what you're getting ready to say. And for my fellow fishies, guess what? We're right back at the King of Swords again. So it looks like maybe we didn't do our homework last week. We didn't let go of the thoughts and philosophies that had gotten us to this point. We didn't give closure to the thing that we were supposed to give closure to. So come on, y'all. Let's get it together this week. Let's actually say goodbye to this little piece of our past so that way we can move on and get ready for the next step. This is really, it's actually kind of poignant for me because I really do feel like there is something that I do need to let go of. So I'm going to do my best to make sure I give myself closure on this week, even if I've got to sit and meditate for, an hour or two. Okay, you guys, that's it for this week's TarotScope. I hope it finds each of you well, and stay tuned because I'm going to be launching my series on the numerological precession in the minor arcana later this week once I get done editing the first video. So stay tuned, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.